Hi, my name is Bob and welcome to the homestead, y'all. Well, in this video we're going to be talking about some of the chores that we do in December, January, and February. These chores are chores I do every year. They help our garden. If you're an organic gardener like we are, or a regenerative gardener, then this gives time for the supplements that you put in your garden to absorb down into the soil to help make healthy soil. So that way, come springtime, you're going to have a wonderful garden. You're going to have wonderful berry bushes, grapevines, fruit trees. So we're going to talk about that in this video, so stick around. Okay, one of the things we do in December, January, and February, one of the chores is spreading our wood stove ashes. Now, you want to spread your wood stove ashes about like you do lime. It works out to about 3 pounds for every 100 square feet. So 10 feet by 10 feet area is 100 square feet, and you want to put about 3 pounds of wood stove ashes. Now, I've done this for almost 30 years now, spread wood stove ashes, so I can pretty much guess on how much 3 pounds is. But if you haven't done it, you're not familiar, just get you a little scale and some kind of container. This is just an old Folgers coffee container, and weigh it until you figure out how much 3 pound it is, and then just spread it as evenly as you can. Now you can see these are some of our cover crops. We got clover in here, we got purple vetch, winter wheat, we got turnips, we've got all kinds of stuff. We even have kale in here. And what we do is we spread these cover crops in the fall of the year, and you can see how well they're doing. You can see all the little clover leaves. There's chicory in here. There's alfalfa in here. So there's just a wide diversity of cover crops that we have throughout the garden. And so what I like to do in December, January, February is give them these wood stove ashes. This is going to give them nutrients to grow through the winter. Plus, those nutrients are going to be absorbed down in the soil. So in the spring, when we plant our garden, the vegetables that we plant have everything that they need to grow. So, but basically, I just go around and I do about a 10 feet by 10 feet area with 3 pounds of wood stove ashes. If you want to see a detailed video on how we do this, there is one in our organic gardening playlist that I did a few years ago that I go into detail what nutrients this is putting in the soil, how it's helping our plants. So you can go watch that video. I'll put the link in the description below. But spreading wood stove ashes, that's one of the chores that we do in December, January, and February. Okay, another chore that we do is we mulch all our raspberries and our blueberries down with leaves that we've collected for the fall. Now, these leaves haven't been chopped up. These are whole leaves because I want them to protect the roots. January and February is when we get our coldest weather. In fact, we're forecasted next week and the week after to be down in single digits. So all our raspberries have been mulched. This is just one hugel bed of raspberries that we did last year or the year before. If you want to see how we did that, I'll put the link in the description for that, how we built this hugel bed and planted raspberries, and they've done wonderful. But we want to put a layer, a thick layer of leaves. So you can see that's good 6-8 inches. These are wet leaves. It's rained the last few days, so I opened the bags up where I collected them and let them get nice and wet so the wind won't blow them off as easy. We're supposed to be getting a rain tonight. So these will get soaking wet, and this will help hold the leaves in and help protect these raspberries for the cold weather coming. Now, I have a few new blueberry bushes over here I'll show you that we planted this year. You can see I've planted, put plenty of leaves around them. I've went around about a foot around them, and they're packed in there good. You can see there. So I'm going to go take more leaves, do our main blueberry bushes. These are new ones we just planted last year. So hopefully these will be protected and they'll do great this spring. Okay, another thing we do, you see this plum tree behind me, is we prune our fruit trees. I usually start about the second week of December. Of course, it depends on what zone you're in. We're in zone 6, or well, they say we're in zone 7 now, but I don't agree with that because truly we're still like a zone 6 according to temperature. So I'll start about the middle of December, and we have a little over 90 fruit trees, so it takes me, just coming out here on pretty days, doing it an hour or two, it takes me a couple months to do it. So usually I'm done somewhere around the end of January, sometimes into February, but I try to do it before February because the trees will be setting buds. They'll be blooming in March and April, so I like to get it done in December and January if I can. So you can see here this little plum tree. We have a few, like this limb, it's sticking way out. It needs to be cut back. So what I'll do is I'll take my small pruners and cut the smaller limbs. If I have any big limbs, then I'll go get my big pruners. Any limb pointing to the inside, I'll take that off because we don't want them rubbing against each other toward the inside. You don't want long stringy limbs like this one. You can see how long that one is. So we're going to prune him back, and everywhere we prune them, that is going to split. So that'll make the tree full. It'll help make it fuller. And then in the springtime, once the buds are pollinated and it starts putting fruit on, then I come out and I start taking fruit off of it. There's another limb. That's a sucker there. We don't want him. Get him down as close to the ground as we can. But any maintenance that you need to do to your fruit trees, this is the time of year to do it. Any broken limbs, you want to cut those off. Like this one, you can see this limb, the horse or goats have probably got into it, so they've broken that limb, so I need to get a good clean cut there. And then any big limbs, I'll come back and I'll seal those later on. But here you can see this limb. This limb just needs taken off way back here, so I'll have to get my saw to bring it, to cut it. But now I can cut it with these on up there pretty good. But I need to take this one back. That needs to be cut off completely. So December, January, February is a great time to prune all your fruit trees, and you can see the limbs better. Any limbs that are coming to the inside like that one, I don't want that one on there because you don't want those crossing over and making a bad spot on your limbs when the wind blows. Okay, that's another project I have to continue on. Okay, another thing I do this time of year, this is our flower, part of our flower garden right next to our main garden. That we attract beneficial insects, we attract pollinators, is I'll plant the seeds that need to be cold stratified. Like this year I'm planting some New England asters. Here they need to be cold stratified. I usually plant black-eyed Susans, cone flowers this time of year. I'll just spread the seed lightly across some bare spots in here. So, you know, December, January, February, March is about the best time for our zone to plant any seeds that need to be cold stratified. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've got several of these. I want to go ahead and get these planted, and that'll give them time to be cold stratified, and then they won't sprout until the soil warms up enough in the springtime. Okay, one of the last things I do in December, January, and February as far as garden maintenance goes is spread compost. If you have a fall compost pile that's done well and it's ready come wintertime, right now is a great time to spread this on your garden, especially if you grow cover crops like we do. This will help feed your cover crops. By the time it gets down into the soil, it'll be, you know, March, April, all the nutrients will absorb down in your soil. So that way when you plant your spring garden, your summer garden, they have all the nutrients that they need. Another thing is manure. We use all kinds of manure from here on the homestead, from chicken manure, horse manure, goat manure, cow manure, pig manure. The winter time, anywhere from December to February, March is a great time to spread your manures. So that way your manures have time to break down and the nutrients get down in the soil, especially before you plant your garden. It's very critical that if you don't compost your manures and you put straight manure on your garden, to make sure you do it in the wintertime. So that way the bacteria has time to get down into the soil. If you put it on early spring and you have leafy greens or anything that you're going to eat straight out of your garden, if you use pure manure on it, then that bacteria can splash up onto your greens or onto your vegetables, and you'll have to clean those very well to get that bacteria off. We like to be able to just come out here, pick it, and eat it. So any kind of manure, it goes on in the wintertime. If it's pure manure, I generally put it on in the wintertime. Now our chicken manure, most of the time I compost it, so it's safe when I put it on the garden in the springtime. But any of your pure manures, you want to put them on in the wintertime, so that way by the time you plant your garden, the nutrients are in the soil, they're safe to eat because the bad bacteria is already gone by that time. So that way when it rains and splashes up on your leaves, you're not going to get the bad bacteria on your plants. So it's very critical to put your pure manures, even your goat manure. You know, like everybody says goat manure won't burn your plants. Well, most manure is not going to burn your plants. Chicken manure will if you put it on heavy, but I've used it light for years and years and haven't had a problem. In fact, some of the best vegetables I ever grew were in pure chicken manure. And I'll put a link to that video. I made a video of that. It was just amazing. I just took pure chicken manure right out of the chicken coop and grew some of the best vegetables I've ever grown in it. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments on this video, if you do other chores in the wintertime that I haven't listed, please leave it below so we can all learn from each other. And as always, thanks for watching.